It's time, says the Bank of England, to talk about the economy shrinking. Time to hike interest rates and try and get a grip on inflation.
Everything is much more expensive, especially when you go into the shops and you start buying stuff you would usually buy and you notice it.
In Paisley Town Centre, they're saying what people are feeling across the country. Prices are soaring, and the Bank of England believe this cannot be business as usual. So interest rates are up to 1%, which is historically relatively low, but still the highest rate since 2009. And it comes with some gloomy forecasts from the Bank of England. Inflation was at 7% in March. They say that's intensified because of the war in Ukraine and will hit 10% by the end of the year, which would be a 40-year high. And they're expecting household energy bills to go up another 40%, another £800, bringing the average bill to £2,800 in October. The bank's warning the economy has lost its sparkle and will shrink in the last 3 months of this year and overall next year, rather than the growth they previously predicted. All while households have more to pay out. Inflation, 10% by the end of the year.
It's terrible, considering it's already went up and then it's going up more.
The energy bills on average are going to go up 40% in October.
Okay, that's quite bad.
And incomes are nowhere near keeping up.
It is a measure of the scale of the shock that total real household disposable income is projected to fall by 1.75% in this 2022, which, apart from 2011, would be the largest contraction since comparable records began in 1964. And I must say that I recognise the hardship this will cause for many people in the UK.
But I think lots of people will be thinking to themselves, how am I going to cope with this? We've already in April seen record increases in energy bills. People are already seeing food prices go up when they're going to the shops. And actually what we're hearing today is things are going to be getting much worse.
The rate rise means 2 million households on standard variable mortgages may be facing higher payments. And with banks under no obligation to pass on higher interest rates to savers, money watchers say don't assume your savings account will automatically get a boost.
Mortgage borrowers will likely see an increase to standard variable rates at a much quicker pace than savers will see the benefit of a base rate rise. And that's why it's important that you're monitoring your savings rate, that you're not being loyal if the rate's really terrible.
The Ukraine war has contributed to higher costs for fuel, energy and food, but even before that, prices were climbing. Milk is up 10% and popular brands have increased prices, including this iconic Scottish beverage. So what could fizzy drinks teach us about inflation? Well, for many economists, the idea is that by putting interest rates up, the cost of borrowing money goes up. And so demand from consumers may go down and bring the cost of products down and inflation with it. But fizzy drinks teach us that the cost of materials, production, ingredients is all going up anyway, driving up the costs for consumers. That's why some economists warn raising interest rates won't be that effective, given global price rises. There's a fear now that the cost of living crisis will drag on, cutting into growth. Baz and Leo want to hire a new barber, but the prospect of 40% on energy bills in October isn't helping. How does that sound?
It's going to be harder, because the more they're putting prices up, the more we're going to be charging customers. And it's going to come to a point until people start doing their haircuts in the house, you know what I mean?
So in the months ahead, prepare for the economy to shrink as costs grow and the hurting to continue.